that cold steel glare. They scream fascist cause he's a rich billionaire. But tell me, where's his army? Where's his one-party decree? A man who's saving money ain't Gestapo to me. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Blame deplorables, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When speech gets silenced and words get banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand? When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars. No gulags for critics, no bureaucratic charge, no youth brigades chanting his name. Yet somehow he's taking all the blame. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Bring up race, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When thought gets silenced and merit gets banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand? When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of right? National Socialist, funny that name, yet markets and choice they always disdain. Control the press, rewrite the past, cancel today for sins of the past. You say you're progressive, marching ahead, but history whispers you're painted in red. So call him a tyrant, call him a fraud, call him a villain, a tech demigod, but history's pen, when written true, will just be pointing its finger at you. Who's got the wrong kind of Reich? Who's got the wrong kind of Reich? History's pen, when written true, will just be pointing its finger at you.
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully my sound is better today. I played with it. I did some, and hopefully it works. I'll just have to speak louder, I guess. Hopefully you guys are having a great Monday. Hopefully you guys liked the video intro. I had another different one set up for you, but then I realized that it was full of guns, and you can't do that on a YouTube live stream. Oh, the coffee is so hot. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this knocked out here. We got a truck full of information here on how to defeat the government and make sure they don't take your stuff. We're gonna go over that, but we're also gonna talk about a little bit of logic and common sense too. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. All right, so let's see here. What do we got? Bullseye Ben first, Rose Stoller. Number 2, Catitude. Young lady, you are deterred. Good morning to everybody. We're going to go down the list here real quickly. We got Debbie Chandler, Cool Colts in the house. What else? Ooh, I forgot to get out of Top Chat. I got to get out of Top Chat. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy. Alrighty then. Canada. 30-minute notification works. Good morning. Oh, I like it. Stock markets around the world are melting. Totally untrue. Light Raider. Good morning. LocalPrepper. K Kim is here. We got not a sponsor. Good morning, my friend. Bullseye Ben. Oops. Let's see. Laszlo showed up. Will Smith showed up. We got Ian in the house. Who else we got here? I think I covered everybody. Looks like everybody's giving me the 5x5. Yeah, I'm watching the markets this morning, guys. So it's just a big adjustment. It's a big adjustment. There's nobody talks about the stock market unless people who are in the stock market are losing money. When they're making money, they're totally silent. They don't give two craps about what you think about the market. But when they're running out of money, man, my hair is like all super poofy and everything today, huh? It's almost look like a do boy or something. It's kind of weird. Um, but they don't talk about it unless they're losing money. And if you invested poorly on your 401k, then I don't know what to tell you. All my money is underneath my mattress, protected by G Lock. It's got a G lock on it. It's got a big old G lock on it. Lightning Raider, thank you very much for the $5. Looks like that is greatly appreciated. Make sure everybody gives him a well, let's see here. You man. There we go. Everybody gives that like for me. I appreciate you guys. My second life. Good morning. Wish me luck today. I'm trying my hands at making tallow. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oops. Oh no. All right. Yes, definitely. Make that tallow. It's definitely a product worth having on the shelf once completed. You do have to put a little bit of work into it though. So have fun with that. All right, back to the stock market briefly because that is really off point. Yeah, those are the only people complaining about it, the people that are losing money. If they're making money, they give two squats about talking about it on the news or whatever. We're edging into a bear market. If you look at the graph for the last 70 years, and I just got done arguing with a guy about a 70-year-old graph, the numbers just keep for 70 years. For the last 2 years, the stock market has provided all of its wealthy donors with a 20% return for the last 2 years. You had to know the gravy train is going to run out. You had to know. Okay, so let's see. We've got all that knocked out of the way. Also, guys, I'm going to talk to you now for a couple of seconds about the giveaway. The giveaway is scheduled for today. That video will drop at 3 p.m. today. If you have not gone there, and got the link for the giveaway and done followed all the rules, then you cannot win an EMP shield. And yes, I am shipping it to either Canada or Alaska. Ha 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 ha. Let's see. Grumpy Acre says no anti-tariff person have mentioned the talk from last August about market corrections. 100%, 100% true. 100% true. Quickly, we're going to go to the poll because it's relevant to the actual live stream. The question is, what is the best way to protect supplies in a crisis? 56% believe splitting them across locations. 22% say bury them in secret spots. 22% say hide them in plain sight and 0% say use decoy or trick to trick officials. All right. So with that said, general idea is that there's always this fear, not just in the prepper community, but in generally the citizenry. Executive Order 64012/9er, whatever the hell that number is, talks about how they can take your stuff in an emergency. I always tell people not to worry about that. I'll throw that disclaimer out right up front to not to worry about that because they have better stuff than you have. We would literally have to fall back to muskets and redcoats to start worrying about those. What is it? Help me out here, Grumpy. Is it Fourth Amendment? I believe shall be used to house no troops, something like that. That kind of falls under that, which makes that executive order um, kind of unconstitutional, which is interesting that nobody ever called that out. Anyway, so well, let's see, dip every 6 years, there's a correction. Yeah, I mean, logically, you can. There's always going to be a correction to the market. All right, so getting back on point. I'm going to sip some coffee. If you guys have not hit that thumbs up button yet, please do so now. It does help the channel. I did notice there were already 10 thumbs up before this thing even started. So, all right, let's see here. All right, so with that said, oh, let me gather my man voice so that I'm not flat today. When a severe crisis strikes, governments may seek to control resources by any means necessary, actually. It might not occur immediately, but in the situation, as the situation deteriorates and normalcy fades, officials could deploy teams to confiscate essential supplies. Who would they deploy? We don't know. Whether the goal is to maintain order, bolster military. Oh, excuse me. I had a pretty good allergy attack this morning, so we're going to just bear with that. Bolster military efforts or favor those in power, securing critical items uh, could become priority, even if it means taking them from the citizens. Now, this discussion is going to explore some key items likely to be targeted during such an event and provide some strategies for individuals to safeguard their possessions. I'm going to go to the chat here real quick. Somebody type something. My bad, I'm a slacker. Bradley just showed up, but I'm going to give a thumbs up today. There we go. Rose says no one commented on the poll as if you have private sales, no problem. But if a Nick's background check on you, they have a plausible number of weapons you have on mine. That's true. That's true. That's true. If you think they're not counting this, if you think there's not a database, I mean, come on, right? To believe that that's unconstitutional. You're right, it is, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. It doesn't mean they have it. Don't have it. Patriot Act and all that crap. So, all right. So first things first, firearms and ammunition. So governments often prioritize removing firearms and ammunition from civilian hands during emergencies. Controlling these items equates to controlling the populace, a tactic seen in historical examples of disarmament to suppress the resistance. In scenarios like martial law, authorities might demand that citizens surrender their weapons, citing safety or other jurisdictions. Consequently, individuals shut up, phone. Individuals, individual firearms could quickly become prime targets for seizure. I'm going to bet that's like, did you guys get your alerts on time? Because I tried something new this morning. I'm kind of curious. Yep, local prepper live. 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. We're going to clear all that out of there. All right, so back on point. So, like I said, consequently, individuals' firearms could quickly become the prime target to be seized. Now, we know that that's an issue. We know that that's an issue because it's here in America we have to worry more about free speech than anything else because they want to be able to control the narrative, and there's this mentality within the government of just calm the hell down, just shut up, let us do our jobs, everything will be fine tomorrow, all the Walmarts will be open again, just take a breath, instead of like which unfortunately that just under 50% of our nation, that those citizens are actually in the business of doing on the daily. They just and so it's difficult, these powers that the government has. It's difficult for, it's like who's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So perception is very important. Um, and then the ability to gather people rapidly using social media then that could be armed to go do something. You know what I'm saying? Just meet here, bring all your MREs, bring all your kit, bring all your boom boom sticks and freedom seeds. We got some stuff to do. We'll see you then. Now, obviously, the FBI would show up, all these blah blah blah, these bad things would happen. But the reality is that enough people might show up to where you could actually have like a little tiny revolution that could actually spark something. I often remind people that only 13% of the citizenry actually actively fought of the United States, of the people that were in the continent of America. Okay, the pilgrims, the pioneers, so on and so forth. During the War for Independence, the Revolutionary War, only 13% of the citizenry actually fought in the war. It's extremely low percentage. It's extremely low percentage. So a small amount of people can do a lot of things, and the government recognizes this, and so they could very easily decide, hey, let's kind of slow the roll on that one because yeah, we know they could like find our troops and just rush them and take their guns and stuff. And pretty much everybody knows how to operate an AR. So what's the difference between that and an M16 and an HK? Almost nothing. Um, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But let me go to the chat here real quick. Here, where we got here? You the man. I'm a slacker. Fake money is fake money, no matter what. What the hell are you talking about? Oops. Rose says one comment in the poll. We talked about that already. Alerts received at 9:26. Again at 9:35. The U.S. citizens could take the world alone without the government aid. That's true. 100%. 100%. All right, so I'm going to take a sip of coffee because my throat is needing it. You guys drink some coffee too because I don't need to hear your. I don't. I'm not going to hear your voices anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. And the next thing we're going to talk about is strategies to protect your firearms. Now, first one is bury and conceal. Individuals could bury firearms in sealed PVC pipes to protect them from moisture and rust. You need to be able to choose a discreet, memorable location. Like you need to remember where you parked your guns. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you marked it subtly by a natural features. Um, this is going to reduce the chance of discovery. These methods require careful planning to ensure accessibility while avoiding detection by metal detectors or other search teams. Also, diversifying your storage. Storing all your firearms in one location risks total loss during a raid. Instead, individuals might distribute them across hidden compartments, such as behind false panels, or entrust someone uh, to be a reliable ally. This approach actually demands trust and coordination, but does increase the odds of retaining defensive capabilities. Now, the recommended use, let me just make sure I'm in the right spot there. Okay, yeah, that's right. The recommendation that we're throwing out there is to use decoy items. Offering a small, less valuable firearm as a decoy could satisfy cursory searches. Um, Diverting attention from the main stash. Maybe pair it with a believable explanation like claiming it's the only weapon owned. This might convince officials to move on. And that's when we talk about decoys, that's what we're really talking about. Decoy weapons. Maybe it's just an old 22 that doesn't even fire anymore, or maybe it was your daddy's shotgun from the 1812s, and things like that. I own firearms like that I just don't have the money to have checked out by an armor. And they're more antiques than anything else. They're more antiques than anything else. And the thing is too, a lot of people don't know this, but during the time period when both Australia and also during confiscation or attempted confiscation during the Revolutionary War and many other confiscation tasks in Africa, where the government was sending people out to take up the guns. They're like, just give them to us now and everything's going to be fine, or we can come get them later and things won't be fine. Well, the advantage was that they would actually pay for the guns at the time, but then they wouldn't. But the reality is that many times these people that were sent out to find the guns actually had quotas. They would literally like, hey, like you're going to these houses. We know these people have guns, and we expect you to bring them back. And when they didn't come back with them, they were actually seen as sympathizers. So you could actually be helping out somebody that is just trying to do their job. So that's an interesting fact. An interesting fact. Is it me or is the volume low? Light Raider, it is you. Oops says, yeah, low. I don't, guys, I have everything maxed out. Please check your system settings because everything is turned. The microphone, guys, that's the distance. That didn't look right. That's the distance from the microphone, and the microphone volume is maxed out. I'm gonna turn this knob one more time and see what happens. The microphone is just maxed out, so I don't understand. And this is something that has just started in the last week, so I don't understand exactly what's happening. Let me check something here real quick. Let me click this button. I mean, everything is maxed out. Speakers, spatial sound, the mixers are all maxed out at 100%. You try turning them down and then turning them back up. Maybe that'll do it. I hate to do this because most of the time it's you, not me. You know, but yeah, it's it's interesting. I'm on phone. I have it high as it and it's low. Uh is Catitude, is it an iPhone? If it's an iPhone, there's your problem. If it's an Android, if it's an Android, guys, and you didn't know this, here, let me show you something real quick here. I'm gonna see. Let me show you something. Now I'm not causing it. Shut up. This thing's trying to do stuff. All right, so where are we at here? If you swipe down and let's see here. Swipe, is it swipe down? No, it's not swipe down. It's media output. Device, is it device control? No, that's not it. Oh, I'm sorry. You just push, like you push it all the way up, and then see you get the three dots. You see you get the three dots where the sound bar is. If you push those three dots, let me do that again. You're going to push those three dots, and you'll get all of your sounds available. And a lot of times your media sound will be low. So check that. Check that. I mean, there's literally nothing I can do. I want to, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, all right, let's see here. I'm going to drink some more coffee. I'm on an iPad. There's your problem. Distance from the mic seems to work. Okay, I'm gonna probably do No, we're never gonna do that ever again. It sounds I'm an Android, sounds loud and clear. Okay, so clearly these are there's caps the volume limits. I gotcha. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back on point. While you're fixing your problems, let's check the poll. And what's the question is, what's the best way to protect supplies in a crisis? 52% believe split them across locations. 26% believe bury them in secret spots. 70% say hide them in plain sight. And 4% now say use decoys to trick officials. Ha ha. All right, so carrying on. My God, are we already 25 minutes into this? And we're going to run a little over the hour because the thing that I tried, I'll tell you at the end of the end of the live stream what I'm doing, so you guys know what's going on. All right, so food stockpiles. If a crisis persists beyond a few days, food scarcity could prompt governments to manage distribution. Potentially seizing personal stockpiles for common use. Individuals who have diligently amassed preppers reserves might find their efforts undermined as authorities prioritize central control over supply chains. Now, some strategies to hide food. Hide your food supply. Basically hide it in plain sight. Maintain a small, visible pantry as a decoy could mislead searchers by leaving larger concealed reserves untouched. This tactic relies on officials assuming the obvious stash represents the entire one's supplies. Also, you can use false walls and floors, constructing hidden compartments, such as false walls in closets or floors with trap doors, offer secure storage for bulk food. Vacuum sealed packaging minimizes spaces and noise, enhancing concealment. Regular maintenance ensures these spaces remain functional and discreet. Now, we talk about storing some of the food. Dehydrated foods. Storing food in dehydrated form reduces the volume, making it easier to hide in tight spaces like attics or under floorboards. You should rotate stock to maintain freshness and practice rehydration techniques for practical use. Now, a recommendation that we can throw out there is to disguise your packaging. Transferring food from into nondescript containers such as old cereal boxes or cleaning supply bins could obscure its value. This requires creativity and periodic checks to ensure the seals remain intact against pests or moisture. Oddly enough, even though I live in an apartment, true story, yesterday we woke up to half of a mouse in the hallway. And Prepper Cat had been trying to get back behind one of our dry goods storage areas, and I kept running her out of there, running her out of there. But I knew there was like she's back there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, and that started yesterday. No, day before yesterday, and then what is it? And then we found the mouse. So basically, she ate the head of the mouse and then threw everything up and whatever. But she's one of those breeds that actually is still predatory. She still has hunting desires and needs. It's part of her brain housing group, which I really like. Anyway, but yeah, that's the case. And then now I've got to go back. I haven't had time yet, but I have to go back and check and find that box that the mouse had been nibbling out of in our dry goods, which is hilarious because we're in an apartment in a town. It's, it's second floor, third floor, that kind of thing. And it's like somehow we found a mouse. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see here. Never say never. Decoys can confirm that there are guns in the area and will continue to look. That's a possibility. That's a possibility, especially if if there's like a swastika on your helmet, that kind of thing. They're, let me see your papers. Half. There we go. Some phones blast compared to others. All right, good. Well, I guess you guys are just really paying attention today. Our chat rate is 1. Our chat rate is 1. All right, and well, screw that. Let's see here. Screw that, man. All right, so there's only one thing to do. If you love your country, put a number 1 in the chat. Erica, I'm gonna drink some coffee. I'm going to talk some smack. I'm going to read you some stuff because this is an educational channel. And of course, I'm going to pay some bills. All right, guys, I've got the regular Refuge Medical screen up here because I didn't want to show you that commercial 2 times in a row. I'll play it again later maybe or something like that. But the bottom line is that right now Refuge Medical has a Mother's Day sale. Don't you dare forget your mommy day. Don't you dare forget it. Okay? So if you buy $299 or more worth of gear, and the gear's not cheap, so it's pretty easy to do, you will get a Mother's Day gift basket full of magical things. I've actually seen all the way up to and I think they like rotate what's in it. It's like there's no set list. You know what I'm saying? So, and I really needed to talk to Dawn. She's the one who contacts me all the time from Refuge Medical. And say, hey, what is exactly? Is it a rotating thing, or what is this? But yeah, I mean everything from personalized purse. I'm pretty sure it's a gun purse. I'm not sure, but that's what I would do. What is skin lotions and body powders, and it's a mommy basket. It's a true mommy basket. You're going to get that absolutely free. So make sure you guys go off and do that, and please save some money. Save some money because if you do that, you're going to save 15% on the purchase. I probably make like 7 cents every time you do that. Not a joke, but that's okay. It's the greatest freaking medical equipment company on the planet. Everything about it is American. Not a joke. Even American Power. Okay, that's going to be about it. So, link in the description. George Casale, good to see you, my friend. Did you just show up? George, you know you can't win, right? George won the last giveaway. George, what did you win? Or did you win the Spags bag? I can't remember. Because if you won last month, you can't win this month. If you guys didn't know that, hint, hint. And members giveaways don't count. If you're a part of the members, I gave away 2 members gifts. I did 2 members giveaways during the members only Discord last month. So 2 different ones, 2 different gifts. But and matter of fact, hey, I need to know, did you guys those members, did you get your they should have shown up. They should have shown up by now. I think maybe one shows up today. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you guys aren't a member of the members only organization, the group, the YouTube members program at the Doomsday level, then you don't have a shot to win any of the extra stuff. So uh, I have to won anything yet. Um, you haven't won anything yet. I got you, bro. Oh, so George, you did win the Spags pack. Dynamite. I'm glad. I'm glad. I don't know, George. I don't know why you're not a YouTube member. I really don't. You pop in at the most opportune times. It's hilarious. And you're lucky like me. So, Billy King, what's going on, bro? So good to see you. Good to see you. And oh, wait a minute. A nurse for you too. Ah, a nurse for you too. Good morning. I do not recognize you, and thank you for hanging out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Um, let's see here. How mess up am I? LP said lotion, and my mind went right to Buffalo Bill. Ha 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 ha! It puts the lotion on its skin. Let's see here. Become a member and join the Discord. There you go. I mean, we talk all the time. It's a good time. It's actually, I hate to say it, but it's the actual. So one of the things that happens when you get your YouTubers set up a Discord is they make these Discords, they let everybody into the damn thing, right? And then like they create all these rooms about all these different topics, and then you know what I'm saying? So what I did was I made ours members only. You had to be a member of the YouTube program. And then we actually have genuine conversations. It's absolutely mind-blowing. You know, instead of just the crazy stuff, we're actually like having genuine conversations, sharing information. This weekend we were sharing intel about the flooding. I mean, Missouri got freaking schwacked. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to have friends like this. It's good to have friends. It's good to have friends. And so I do recommend people do get their asses into the YouTube membership program. There is a link in the description. Get in at the Doomsday level, and we'll get you in the Discord like Mosh Kosh. Not a problem. And then you have the opportunity to win even more stuff. But anyway, so EMP Shield giveaway today. Video drops 3 p.m. As usual, I'll pick 3 people. They have 24 hours. First guy, second guy, third guy. I'll explain it during the video. Anyway, so my luck is never good. There can be 2 people and I don't win. Yeah, a nurse for you too. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. But you know what? You can't win if you don't play. All right, so I'm going to sip some more coffee, and we're going to talk about food and energy sources. Now, it says officially the chat rate is 0. That is bogus. Guys, put something in the chat for me. Let's raise that up. Also, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, do that now. That really does help out the channel. Keep things level, straightforward, and lets the algorithm know that we are here to stay. So, with that said, fuel and energy sources. So, fuel sources like gasoline, diesel, firewood, could become critical in a prolonged crisis. You know, attaching government or attracting government attention to power emergency services or military operations. You know, individuals stored fuel might be deemed too valuable to maintain in private hands. Now, let me tell you a story because these things still exist in the military. They have they look like 55-gallon drums. It's pretty ingenious. If you're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. They have these 55-gallon drums, right? And they have all the components that they need to burn diesel and to burn wood inside of it. And what it is it's a giant water heater is what it is. Okay? And they if they run out of diesel, you could start to burn wood in them, and they need that to run all of their sculleries, and also to wash dishes and things like that. And these things are in stockpiles. We actually tend to use more modern technology, but that is also fueled independently as well. I've actually seen some that are out there that are propane fueled. So if they decide maybe they want all your propane, because I haven't said anything about that, but a lot of people forget about it. It's like I normally keep anywhere from 3 to 5 propane canisters, 25 pounders, where they need to be. We'll just say that. And it's let me tell you a story about a man named Jed. Was it Jed or Jeb? I can't remember. Uh, Winning is part of being the group. You can also learn so much and connect with so many. There you go. Poor man barely kept his family fed. There we go. I like that. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Let's see if anybody else. Make it a game. Like you know what I'm saying? Like somebody else is adding on to it. But people are like, I'm not doing that because somebody else is going to be. But yeah, that's something that the military actually still uses. A lot of people think that those things went away with we used to have the what they call GP tents. Basically, they look like the giant mash tents. But when we went to our more modern GP tents that almost put themselves up, but they're still a pain in the ass. Um, the a lot of that older technology, that 550 barrel technology, kind of went away because that was actually pre-World War II technology. But oh, they have tons of them. They're just sitting in storage. They're just sitting in storage. Okay, looks like the chat rate is at 4 for now. Thank you guys very much. Continue. But and if you're not posting, you're not participating. It's that easy. What the hell is stuck into my foot? That's something stuck to my foot, driving me nuts. All right, let's go. All right, so some strategies to protect fuel. You could split your storage, dividing fuel into smaller containers, scattering containers, some in a shed, others buried. Uh, you know, this complicates total confiscation. So they can't just come in and say, "Oh, look at the shed full of propane. We'll take all of that." You know what I'm saying? Um, you could label them ambiguously like gardening supplies, that kind of adds a layer of obscurity to whatever you have them in. Um, the for alternative fuels, producing biodiesel from waste oil offers a renewable option, less likely to be targeted. Individuals would need equipment and knowledge, but this self-sufficiency reduces reliance on vulnerable reserves. Talking a little bit about the biodiesel, um, the military vehicles cannot run biodiesel. And the reason is because a lot of people don't know this, and there's also it's a very I've told this story before, but um, there was a time where I had the opportunity to drive uh, some uh, some Soviet slash Russian type vehicles, and they were actually Soviet vehicles. And one of the things that you'll learn when you learn to maintain these vehicles is that the diesel that they burn is extremely dirty. Um, and the diesel that we run inside of our military vehicles here in the United States in the West is extremely refined. Okay, so we literally had to, for every 1 gallon of diesel, of American diesel, we had to pour a quart of any type of oil. We used transmission fluid. We pretty much used whatever we had. It just had to be dirty, because the oil that they use in those vehicles is designed to lubricate the runs too clean, there's no lubrication, and the engine seizes up. So, some things to think about when we start talking about biodiesel. It's not a bad thing. If you know how to make biodiesel, that's freaking that's pretty cool. Maybe get yourself one of those old freaking Mercedes Benzes or something like that, and do a conversion on it or whatever. But it is interesting. It is interesting. Um, let's see. I'm going to go to the chat here. I make biodiesel. It's a complicated problem. Yes, I've seen Gregory. I've seen video. I remember when it was. What was it? Actually, I think it was Doomsday Preppers was the most extensive one I had ever seen, where the guy basically had a whole like shop with the 320, or was it 312, 320 totes all stacked, and then like that does that, and then I drain it into this, and that does that, and it does that. It's time to go. And but the thing that pisses me off is that all these companies, businesses out there figured out that they could sell back their oil, their used cooking oil, when we used to get it for free, you know. So it's crazy, man. Black Gold Texas tea. What do we got? Poop bucket label on the diesel tank. That's my poop bucket. How about a fake outhouse? That's smart, Gregory. A fake outhouse. I like it. Let's see here. Well, the first thing you know, he becomes a Jed's millionaire. It's funny too because I told the girlfriend the other day how somebody tricked me into singing the other day, and she's like, "What? I missed that? What?" Because I don't sing. When somebody gives me 10 or 20 bucks, I sing whatever the hell they put on in the chat, you know. Unless it gets me kicked off of YouTube. Anyway. Let's see. California's place to be. I can't read all that. Hills of swimming, pools, movie stars. Great recollection. Oops. Let's see. Rose says fuel pumps not on constant feed, but have to connect when you want. Invaders less likely to be aware of what you have set up. Yeah, that's pretty smart. I mean, if you have the ability to pump your own fuel, and it's not a manual turn. It's like you could literally be like, yeah, we used to keep fuel in there years ago, but the whole thing just burned out. There's nothing in there anymore. There's no fuel. We had that emptied years ago. Or you could tell them like the city came in and told us we had to empty it out because we weren't using it anymore. So yeah, that thing's dead. You could literally be like how like you're driving down an old country road and you see like a gas station from like the 1930s and the fuel pump's still out front. Everybody knows there's nothing there, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? It could be like that. Let's see here. I don't sing. I sound like a beat down frog. I've seen a couple people on TikToks that have made burners for plastic to extract gasoline. There you go. Grumpy says, had a guy at work with a biodiesel truck. He got his oil from Chinese restaurant. Every time he drove to the garage, smelled like fried. I know, right? That's what I'm talking about, Grumpy. That's the old school stuff right there. When you can find somebody that doesn't have to here's the thing. These the companies made it lucrative to reprocess this oil by providing the containers, but then they also made them pay for the service. So now they actually and then the city gets involved and says, "Oh, by the way, you've got to get rid of this." You know what I'm saying? If there were more people out there making biodiesel, I bet you can go to Chang's or frickin', Panda Express or wherever and get their frickin' oil for nothing. Like, bring your own buckets, bro. I'll get it myself. You know, that kind of stuff. Bob showed up. What's going on, bro? Add cheap cologne to fuel. There you go. There you go. Stifler. Hey, what's going on, broseph? Stopping in for a cup of coffee and then heading out to the shop. Good to and prepping morning, everyone. Stifler, what's the story? What's the story on the G17 slides, bro? What's the story? Talk to me, broseph. I'm telling you right now, I could sell the hell out of some G17 slides if they were like fully equipped, like plug and play. That's what I'm talking about. It wouldn't matter. The price wouldn't really matter unless it was like rip off prices. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, let's see here. What 1930s? How about 2000s or sooner? We're close. That's true. That's true. But I was just doing it for like visual effect. Like we've all driven past a gas station like that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a half building with an overhead and just enough room for two Edsels to get in underneath there for the guy to come out and pump gas for you. Let's see here. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? People saying hi there, Stifler. People saying hi. Inquiring minds want to know. Went shooting this weekend. All right, let's see here. We gotta stay away from the gun stuff, guys. We gotta stay away from the gun stuff on the live streams. But I do have a list of things that I'm gonna be making. Okay, so we have our SM17 Viper prototype ready. Ooh, and everything goes well by June. Okay, by June. Good to know. We will be paying attention, my friend. We will be paying attention. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the other thing we can do is we can use visual deception. We displaying a near empty fuel can might convince officials that the supply isn't worth taking. Regularly topping off hidden reserve maintains readiness without drawing security. And the recommendation that we're going to throw out there is to invest in solar alternatives. Small portable solar chargers could supplement fuel needs discreetly. Storing these in everyday items like a toolbox keeps them off the radar while providing backup energy. So, with that said, guys, with that said, we all know that portable electric devices um, can take the places of devices that run on gasoline. Okay, let's stick with gasoline. Do me a favor, put in the chat what devices you could replace with an electric device, okay, that um, would limit the need for storing fuel. Because that's if you guys ever look at like true problem solving, the first thing is what is the problem? And then what is the indicator of the problem and how do we remove that indicator, and that removes the problem. For instance, I will say, let's see here, chainsaw. So you could go with an electric chainsaw, not a problem. They make them, pop the batteries on them. I know DeWalt is doing some crazy stuff. Matter of fact, I bet you, what's his name? Has got a freaking, not a sponsor. Has got a YouTube channel that has nothing but like little gadgets and stuff. I bet he's done video. I bet he's done videos on electric chainsaws. You guys have seen, you had to have seen that little electric handsaw that I use. I love that little thing. I think it's so awesome on the property. You know what I'm saying? But things that could be removed that you wouldn't need to put gas in a generator. You know what I'm saying? In my view, there's like certain tiers of use. You know what I'm saying? You've got the small electrical items that need power. You've got the medium. You got the larger electric items, and then you have to have the ability to charge those power sources if the solar or wind isn't working that day, because that does happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you'd fire up the generator to charge those sources, as well as charging the not just charging your backup power sources, but also charging the other ones simultaneously. The idea was be that you limit running that generator. Let's see, a golf cart you could charge with the solar. Put solar panels on the damn roof. Get one of those roofs you like in Caddyshack and stuff. Put some solar panels up there. Put a couple of 100s up there. Boom, boom, boom. You're in, man. I don't know why nobody's ever thought of that. I didn't know you're the teacher. Yes, you did, Deanna. Yes, you did. Let's see here. Yeah, I got an electric saw just a couple of months ago to cut down some bamboo. That was much needed. There you go. There you go. Generator for charging purposes, of course. Oops says an electric motor turned in reverse is a generator. Correct. Let's see here. Have a few manual tools for. There you go. Manual tools. There, fixing that problem right now, man. Pulse tool digger and auger. There you go. Rose says a Tweedle sewing machine or create a Tweedle to create power for other household items. Nice, nice. Okay, excellent. All excellent ideas. All excellent thoughts. All right, let's see here. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next subject. I'm pulling it up right now. And I'm going to check the poll here real quick. Yeah, well, this is going to run longer than I expected, but that's okay. I don't mind these live streams on rainy days. We're going to be on for a while. We're going to be on for a while. All right. So the poll says what's the best way to protect supplies in a crisis? 53% still say split them across locations. 27% say bury them in secret spots. 17% say hide them in plain sight, and 3% say use decoys to trick officials. All right, let's see here. With that said, so medical supplies. Now, medical resources include medicines and first aid kits. And remember, guys, these are things that like if they were to come to your house, these are the things that they're going to be looking for. They're going to want. These are going to be high priority items for them. So medical resources, including medicines and first aid kits, become prizes in a crisis. Prompting governments to centralize them for rationing. Now, individuals' stockpile of antibiotics or painkillers might be confiscated to address widespread shortages. Strategies to keep medical supplies safe, they're interesting. They're interesting. The first one is blend in. A visible basic first aid kit might be seized, but additional supplies hidden in unconventional spots like inside hollowed furniture could escape notice. This requires balanced or balancing accessibility and secrecy. Another thing you can do is use false packaging, repackaging medications into generic containers such as vitamin bottles, disguises their importance. Individuals should track expiration dates and maintain a discrete inventory. You can also diversify your storage. You can spread supplies across multiple hiding spots behind baseboards or in ceiling tiles. Um, the this limits total loss. Regular checks ensure the items uh, have remained viable. Now, the recommendation we're going to throw out there is to learn herbal remedies. I know there's a handful of you in here right now. If you love herbal remedies, put a one in the chat. You need to cultivate knowledge of natural alternatives like using, willow bark for pain. It's a natural aspirin if you didn't know that. This is going to reduce dependence on confiscatable pharmaceuticals. This also requires study and patience, but offers a uh, sustainable fallback. Sustainable fallback. It's insane. It's insane because at some point they're going to want all your blue pills. You know what I'm saying? At some At some point, they're going to want all your blue pills. There we go. I had to do that. I had to drink some of that because it's just calling me. It's just calling me. And there's a lag, and I'm not sure. It was only about 5 or 6 seconds when we started, but I think it's getting worse. A nurse, always learning. Bottles with skull and crossbones might work. Yeah, exactly. But how many bottles of poison do you really need, Gregory? But yeah, I mean, it could be useful. It could be useful. Miko showed up. What's going on? Danny Lane roots are perfect remedy for aspirin, but careful, full of full of essential what? You know, these are good for headaches, but they're full of arsenic. I don't know, Miko. You got to finish your sentence, bro. He ran out of words. His thumb seized up, something like that. I'm going to be looking for you, Miko. I'm going to be looking for you. Looks like the chat rate's a little low, but it is what it is. There we go. It's coming back up. Good, good. All right, so let's talk about something else they might be looking for. If you've ever watched any of the World War II movies about they're searching for Hitler's gold or whatever it may be, the spoils of war, and I personally know people that brought back AK-47s. I know people that tried to bring back gold bars. Um, there were some war trophies that came back from the Gulf War, guys. There were some war trophies. We'll just say that. Majority of them were caught, to be honest with you, but some did and some didn't. Um, Oddly enough, the military brought back a bunch of war trophies, all in the name of training aids, and they ended up on the walls of many command centers. Let's see here. Have you seen trade adapted for power saws and drills? Treadle adaptation for power. No, I have not, Rose. I have not. I have not seen that. All right, so let's talk about precious metals and cash. Now, in a crisis, rendering digital assets uh, obsolete. Physical wealth like gold, silver. And when we say rendering digital assets obsolete, we're talking about your ATM cards. We're talking about your credit cards. We're talking about your ability to go and even get bank money out of the bank. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all digital at this point. I think most banks are only required by law to have like 20% of their whatever they say is in those accounts in the bank itself. All right, so in a crisis, those digital assets are going to become obsolete. Physical wealth like gold, silver, and cash could become these barterable supplies. I tell people that to do that, it's like, well, how much gold do you have? I don't have any gold. I have all silver because I know that most technology is made with silver now. We used to put a lot of gold in our technology, and gold is going up. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a couple gold coins laying around doing nothing. But most of my precious metals are silver. So basically the government could be targeting it, and the government did that under the Nixon administration. So it does happen. Authorities might nationalize such assets to stabilize an economy or fund recovery efforts. And what we need to do is talk about strategies to protect your wealth. Give you a couple of 2A all the way. There you go. But we need to let's go over a couple strategies to protect your wealth. Now, um, diversify and hide. Stashing precious metals in various obscure locations inside old electronics or under floorboards kind of spreads the risk out. Small denomination enhance practice, or small denominations enhance the practicality for trade. I mean, there's lots of places you can put precious metals. I mean, we find them in the cushions of our seats all the time, so it's not hard to hide the damn things. Just remember where you hid them. And then another thing we do is bury our assets. Burying wealth in waterproof containers with a coded map for retrieval offers security. Now, individuals must ensure the site withstands environmental changes and remains private. Otherwise, all your assets could get washed away. You could forget where it was. Someone could buy that property, and then now basically you don't know it, but they just put a foundation down on a house. You know what I'm saying? And it's in the owner of new property building a house finds $1 million in a you know looking for the original owner, but none of that matters anymore because it belongs to them. you know Something else we can do is we can use decoys. A modest visible stash might appease searchers, preserving hidden reserves. Basically, and when I say that, I'm not talking about having your money laying out. I'm talking about putting it in a safe. That way, that there's that anticipation of getting it open. You know what I'm saying? And when they do get it open, they do find some stuff, but it also stops them from looking around. It also stops them from looking around. All right. Let's see here. This is going to hinge on officials accepting the decoy as the full extent of your holdings. Now, I need some coffee. We just went over 1 hour, guys. We just went over 1 hour. I got plenty of content. At least I think I do. Let me scroll over here real quick. Oh yeah, we still got some more content. We still got at least a half an hour's worth of content, I think. Now, recommendations on this particular thing for securing your wealth is to, invest in trade goods. You know what I'm saying? Um, stocking durable items like tools or batteries provides bartering alternatives, and it's less likely to be seized. These require space, but diversity, but it's going to diversify your wealth protection. Quick story on maintaining wealth during a crisis. During the thing that we cannot speak about in the 2019 time period, there was a woman who she got pretty smart. When the lockdowns happened, and the city of New York was saying they weren't letting you drive during certain times, and the subways. Oh my God, you couldn't use the subways. Do you remember that? Oh my God! And how does somebody who lives in this giant mega city get around if they can't drive a car, if taxis aren't can't tote people around because that thing might get them and kill them? You know what I'm saying? And the subways don't work. How does I'm gonna sip some coffee. I'm gonna wait for the lag, and you tell me how these people get around other than walking. And let's see if you guys have your brains locked in and tuned up this morning. If you took your brain pills, go ahead and do that now. Put it in the chat. How do people get around a city when you can't drive and you can't use the subways? And you don't want to walk. Hint. There. I think I've given you all the hints that I can do. Do it now. Do it now. All right, drinking that coffee. Matter of fact, this is over an hour, so I'm going to pour some of my backup. No, because we're in a city. Oops, we're in the city. Come on now. I'm going to demote you right now. You're Captain Common Sense. What do we got here? Mechanical Island in Michigan. They got around without automobiles, bicycles, and horses. When? What year, Ian? That's interesting. Horse and buggy. No. Mountain bikes. Okay, bicycle. So what are we talking about? We're talking about uh diversifying or a segue. There you go. I ride horses in the city. Bicycle, rollerblade. What's up, Mater? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Paul Blart. With cinder blocks, is currently automobile. Gotcha. So the point is that the story is that there was a woman who she knew she could see the writing on the wall with that thing that we can't talk about, and the fact that nobody could move. So what she did was she went to the local bike store. She actually went over to Jersey and she bought 18 bicycles, had them delivered to her apartment, filled her apartment with bicycles. And then she started selling them online. Now tell me that is not smart. Tell me that is not protecting. She literally invested all of her savings into these bicycles and then sold them online, and then people started using them like buying them from her online. And well, you remember all those stimmy checks that we were getting? Well, I think I got two during the whole thing, and they weren't squat. But all those stimmy checks went right into her pocket. That's how you've got to be. UK check. Hey, what's going on, man? Living in 1984. I've not seen you since Christ was a corporal. My goodness. Let's see, what is 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1600 your hours. Nice. Tell your friends, bro. I'm here. I do have an electric golf cart and a Jackery with solar panels. There you go, Bob. There you go. But I want to put the solar panels on just direct access, like boom. Just like you're parking it, it's getting sunlight. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, bicycles, guys. That was how she was able to kind of cash in on the situation and maintain her level of wealth. Because no matter what happened, she'd be able to sell those bicycles. She just happened to make a lot of money during the thing we cannot speak about. A skateboard with a husky and a leash is 30 to 60 miles per hour easy. Yeah, but you got to feed those and you got to store them. Bicycle is the magic answer. The bicycle is the magic answer. All other answers are still good answers, but the bicycle is the best answer. All right, let's see here. So moving on. Communication devices. Oh, I need so much more coffee. I just topped it off. I got my backup coffee over here. There we go. Would you ride a trike today? I believe it or not, I'm seeing there's some people that they live around here. I see them when I go take my walks. They have electric trikes. 4 p.m. here, new job, more hours, need the money. I bet, man, the cost of living's got to be insane over there. Hey, how much is a dozen of eggs there in the UK, bro? Overtime. Send pics of that, Miko. What's Mick? A skateboard with? Oh yeah, send pics of that. It's too funny. Okay, so getting back on point. I need to check the poll. So let's see here. The poll question. It doesn't look like it's really changed. I got 35 votes in there. There's 25 people in here. So people have came and went, and that's cool. But what's the best way to protect supplies in a crisis? 57% say split them across locations. 26% say bury them in secret spots. 14% say hide them in plain sight. And 3% say use decoys to trick officials. Gotcha. Let's see. So it's what is that? 3 pounds? What is that? 3 pounds? Am I saying that right? Or that? Yeah, that's got to be pounds. That's got to be what is that? British sterling? I think think just say pounds or whatever it is, because I know that's not a euro. That's not a euro thing. I build trikes too and four wheels. There you go. 2 jobs plus overtime. There you go. Look up engineer 1775. He has how to go golf cart solar. Oh, dude, that guy is smart. That guy is smart. You still need companionship through all of this. BS. I got you. All right, so communication devices. Let me find out what's going on here. Who's messaging me right now that knows damn well that I'm live streaming right now? Dude, that rifle looks awesome. What is that? I don't know what that is. Tap to see attachments. Oh, yeah. Who is that? Don Truck. Um, he was talking about a picture that I posted in the members only Discord. And if you're not a member of the members only Discord, then you should be. Link in description. All right, let's see here. All you have to do is feed the husky. No, but you got to expend energy to feed the husky. Let's see here. All right, so communication devices. Now, devices like two-way radios or satellite phones could be targeted to control information flow and prevent coordinated resistance. Governments might view these as threats to centralized authority in a crisis. Uh, some strategies to keep communications under wraps could actually be kind of interesting. One, disguise your storage, hiding radios in mislabeled boxes like old toys, or maybe it's inside of one of your like a used up what is it oatmeal container, that kind of thing. These kind of things reduce suspicion. Now, individuals must ensure quick access without compromising concealment. And then you've got, maybe some EMP proof cloth. The wrapping the device in protective fabric is going to shield it from electromagnetic pulse and prying eyes. Obviously you want to test functionality, from from time to time, and it's going to maintain its readiness. Also, have backup options. Storing spare walkie-talkies in separate locations ensures communication if primary devices are lost. Affordable models suffice for this purpose. And that's where we're talking about. Bowfangs now are like 25 bucks a pop, guys. The old ones are like 25 bucks a pop because the newer radios are coming out that are better, don't get me wrong, and they're prettier and they have a cool factor. But you know what? Your old Bowfang still works just fine. Now, one of the recommendations that we're going to throw out there is that we develop a code system. You want to establish maybe some simple codes with trusted contacts that enhances security if devices are interrupted. Now, practice is going to ensure your fluency, or how well you do something under pressure, and that is something you should definitely be thinking about. All right, so let's go to the chat here because I saw some stuff rolling in there. Let's see here. Emax Tactical has some awesome batteries for pew pews. I got you. I got you. Let's see here. Easy to add engines to bikes too. That's true. That's true. Um, Navy sound powered phone. Yes. Believe it or not, in one of my jobs, we actually used that. That was the primary means of communication to talk. Um, how do I say this without giving things away? Um, there were several of us on a wired network. And it's interesting because it requires no power whatsoever. You just wind the thing up. And believe it or not, there are networks out there that are completely sound powered, like ComWire hooks to a headset that goes back to another headset. It's pretty crazy, and it actually works for hundreds of meters. It's crazy. No power needed, no batteries, nothing. It's pretty wild. Suburban Huskies do their own hunting. Any small game is a walking casserole. Oh goodness. Let's see here. We use sound power ship phones on the ship all the time. Exactly. It's just we in the military we actually adapted all of that sound powered stuff for our ground tactics. It's It's what we did. It's what we did. It absolutely 100% works. Absolutely 100%. It's amazing technology. It's basic. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's basically you can literally take two of these sound powered headsets uh, and um, and just run like 500 yards of comm wire and then connect them. And there's no electricity, no nothing. You're not winding any nothing, and you're talking to each other. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Um, looks interesting. I'll do further research on the Navy phone system. There you go. Frequency vibration, 100% true. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into. I think we're getting close to the end, guys, here, but I'd say we got another 15 minutes of this. Let's go ahead and talk about generators and power sources. Now, um, power sources like generators and solar panels could be confiscated to support critical infrastructure. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about this. They put up these systems. I mean, unless it's like mounted to their roofs, then if the if the people that are going out to try and find your stuff um, see that they have access to your stuff, they might take your stuff. And one of the things they might take is your solar panels. Now, individuals that are relying on these things for independence might uh, have they might find them being requisitioned. You know what I'm saying? A strategy to protect your solar sources or your power sources. Maybe you can camouflage and conceal. Disguising solar panels with tarps or foliage minimizes visibility. Ground level setups behind sheds or hedges offer additional cover. Also, having a silent generator, because I know Honda makes the best one, but there are others out there. Man, the inside of my ear is really itching. But there are some quieter generators out there they are going to reduce detection by noise. Unfortunately, everybody wants to have this big Mondo generator that can run their whole house. And I hate to say that, even the best ones are extremely loud. The other thing too is regular maintenance is going to assure efficiency without attracting or attention. Now, you're also might want to think about distributing batteries, hiding smaller battery packs in multiple spots like under sinks or in crawl space is going to limit loss. Labeling them as spares, adds plausibility. One of the recommendations that we'll throw out there is that to use manual alternatives like crank powered lights or hand tools that provide energy without confiscation components. These require effort but enhance resilience. It's crazy what that people will go after as long as they see the value of it. Now, what are you guys rapping about there? Small fold-up panels for rechargeable items that can be stashed and hidden. Very true. That's the stuff that I have. Cindy feeds her dogs. Stop feeding, and they will eat. Oh, I see. So basically, stop feeding your dogs, and they'll pretty much eat anything they can get their hands on. Let's see here. They'll be taking fire from a covered position. Uh, there are solar panels that look like roof shingles. Yes. Oh my God, I've seen those videos. That is freaking awesome. Basically, your entire roof turns into a giant solar panel. Say my dogs are 14 years old. Got to feed them. Sorry, I'm a softie when it comes to them. Let's see here. Gregory says my best advice is to think Amish. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And let's see. Miko says, do you have solar panels and solar generators and battery backup? You don't want to talk about too much because you going to have not just the government, the whole neighborhood looking for you. I mean, that is to an extent if they know who you are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know. I really apologize. The inside of my ear is like really itching, like a bug went in there or something. Um, Most people don't know their neighbor's a prepper unless their prepper neighbor tells them I'm a prepper. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Rose says the roof tile system are a ISO being set up for home heating or heating water. Hmm. Let's see. Cindy says Amish give dog scraps from butchering and meats, not all by dog. There you go. Let's see here. Oops says I save all panels from driveway markers or whatever. I save all panels from, I don't know what that's about. Oops. I save all panels from driveway markers or whatever. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. And that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We're going to be talking about livestock and homegrown food. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of coffee. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You know what? I think we need to do something we have not done in a while. Let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, guys, we talked about earlier with the whole medications hiding them, but the thing is you've got to have them first. You've got to have them first. And you know, in a situation, and one of the reasons that I have it like on the side. Okay, I have it on the side and on the bottom is because there's actually two major products, and there's actually a third one out there now, which I don't really have the research on, but I'm not going to. Maybe you'll look at it at jacemedical.com. But the bottom line is that if you are one of those people that have to have medications on the daily, you guys need, basically you need these medications or you'll die. You need to look at Jace Daily. And the reason is because you can actually stockpile medications. You can buy large amounts of medications to hold. And my recommendation is to do that and rotate your stock. You see what I'm saying? So you always have what you need. Something goes bad, then you're taken care of. But if not, then it's just like a pantry for your medicine, right? And then the other one is the antibiotics and the different kits that they have. I always recommend that basically the basic Jace case, you can update it with different things like ivermectin and other drugs. But I always recommend to have at least the minimum, the Jace case. Bottom line is these things are not cheap, and you need to save money. And the way you do that is by using that code LocalPrepper10. If you do that, you're going to get 10% off of all of your purchases. Not a joke. Recommend you do it. If you don't, shame on you. I have two Jace cases myself. Oh my God, what's that? What's that? Uh, up there. And there's another one above it. Oh no, no, wait. It's right. It's right there. It's right there. Aha. One is none, two is one. Back to the show. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, now that you know all of that, the next thing is livestock and homegrown food. How does that happen? It's easy. Livestock and gardens might be seized as communal resources. You know, the governments could justify taking chickens or produce to feed desperate populations. You know, strategies to keep food supplies hidden are this. You know, keep it small and mobile. Maybe some portable coops for smaller animals, allowing relocation if threats emerge. You know, kind of moving that chicken tractor around, if you know what I mean. Maybe some lightweight designs that will facilitate quick moves to safer spots. And then plant edible ornamentals. Now, growing food disguised as landscaping, kind of think berry bushes or herb bushes, it kind of evades notice. Knowledge of edible plants expands your options, and it's probably one of the biggest failures that most preppers have. Is they just don't do these kind of things. The other thing is to move your livestock. Temporarily shifting animals to a trusted ally's property. It's going to complicate seizure efforts. It's going to slow these guys down. It's like they went to Billy's house today and they didn't find anything, but Billy's got pasture. So I'm going to move all my livestock over to Billy's house. When they come here, I'm going to be like, everything's dead. Sorry, man. And then when they go past me, then they come back to me. And you know what I'm saying? It's just one way to try and beat them. And obviously communication is going to be key in that situation, um, because coordination is going to be key to the secrecy that you'll be required to have. All right. So, and a recommendation we're going to throw on that one is having indoor microgreens. If you guys have seen me growing the sprouts on the shorts, love me some sprouts. Give me some avocados. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of mayo. It's some good stuff. It's some good stuff, and I recommend people actually do it. It's actually like a superfood sandwich if you do it right. but microgreens and cultivating herbs or sprouts indoors using hydroponics. I know we've got one of those guys, but his is outside, which is cool. Which is cool. But doing hydroponics indoors is actually going to be give you to the ability to hide your food production. Now, this is going to demand a setup, but offers a year-round yield of food, and it's really something to think about. Now, um, wrapping this up, a true crisis, or in a true crisis, should I say, individuals must anticipate government efforts to redistribute resources. We have to anticipate that, often under the pretext of it's an emergency. So pay attention to the news, by employing a diversified storage, concealment tactics, and contingency plans, you can protect you can protect your hard-earned supplies. Now, success lies in staying proactive, discreet, and adaptable amidst all of that chaos. And that's going to be that's going to be the end. And I'm going to be going to now is the time for you guys to finish up in the poll. If you haven't done the poll yet, currently with 38 votes and 25 people, I think we're covered. But if you have not done it, now is the time, because I know that there's people that wait till the very end to do this. So the question is, what's the best way to protect supplies in a crisis? 58% say split them across locations. 26% say bury them in secret spots. 13% say hide them in plain sight. 3% say use decoys to trick officials. The reality is, having a plan is just exactly that. Just have a plan. These are all right answers, guys. They're all right answers. Just have a plan. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat before we close this up. Call alternator, exercise bike, connect batteries to batteries. Okay. Let's see here. A nurse says, I need my coffee. Already had 2 cups. Sleepy, rainy day. I know, right? I don't get much done outside on the rainy days, but it gives me a great opportunity to work on my video etiquette. Let's see here. Cat2 says, I hadn't thought of those, and we go through a lot down here in Texas. There you go. Eat your weeds. Yeah, you can do that if they're the right kind. Bad prepper has stuff scattered and not organized. I know, right? I know, but let's just organize. I think the mentality that we're trying to break here is let's just not organize it so it's easier for them to take it from us. I think that's the goal of the video, because you guys know I'm pretty diverse on the things that I say about preparedness. So it's not like they're coming for our stuff. And I actually opened this live stream by saying I really wouldn't worry about this. But once again, these are skills that we have to think about. So let's see here. Off the field, Linda Runyon. Don't know what that is. Make your place look like a hoarder house by the entry, and they won't want anything from inside. There you go. Let's see. Sane, what's up, Sane Canadian? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Let's see. And you're a member? Did I get any new members? I gotta check this. I gotta check this, guys. Let me check. I gotta check something. I gotta check something real quick. I mean, we're already an hour over, so let's see. Sign out. YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio. I'm gonna click over here and click that and see if we have any new membership during this live stream. Or that I had that's Rosita Bazine. No, Saint Canadian signed up 6 days ago. There we go. Let's see here. Rosita Bonita. There we go. Oh, that's right. I remember, dude. I remember now. I'm lost. I've been live streaming too long already today. Let's see here. Rabbit is yummy. Wild rabbits have fleas and are wormy, but rabbits doesn't have enough fat to sustain need to supplement other proteins as well. Yeah, that's true. These are all very true. I basically rabbit tastes like wild chicken. Um, but here's the thing. Maybe maybe grow your own rabbits. Maybe keep them off the ground. So, there are things that can be done, you know what I'm saying? But everything requires work. You can tell I don't live in the city. I know, right? But rabbits are pretty quiet. Rabbits are pretty quiet. I'm a member. Bullseye Ben. When did you sign up, Bullseye? I don't remember. Wait a minute. I don't remember ever seeing you. Have you been in the disc? Is my brain not turned on at all today? Um, Bullseye Ben. Where's we at here? This thing is not letting me scroll properly. It's being a pain in the buttocks. And they really need a search function for this thing. How long have you been a member of the do we talk in the Discord, Bullseye? I mean, like if I feel like I don't talk to you in the Discord at all. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. 10 acres is enough to sustain a lot of absolutely true, Saint Canadian. Absolutely true. I couldn't eat raccoon around here where I live. Why not? I mean, I don't know why you'd want to. That's kind of You're not in the Discord? Wow. Wow. You need to go to the members videos, the members only videos, and find the one where I talk about the Discord and hit the link. And if not, find me something. Contact LocalPrepper at Gmail. Well, I got your phone number, so text me. I know. By the way, that's a crazy phone that I do that with. So it may take me a while to get back to you, but yeah, man, you need to be in the Discord if you're a member. So quail are quiet and produce plenty of eggs to make up for size. There you go. That's a thought. Let's see. Miko says my backyard is 80% edible. Can walnuts, acorns, strawberries, blackberries, wild lettuce, other goodies. I love it. Oops says volume corrected. Holy crap! Volume just went up for me. What happened? I don't know. I didn't push any buttons. All I did was click on like a website. I didn't do anything. I'm not allowed to have Discord. Well, I mean, I haven't been a child in forever, so I don't know what not allowed means. Probably have eaten almost anything considered wild meat in lower 40. There you go. LP blasting now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, guys. Maybe YouTube was paying attention, but I have touched nothing. I've touched nothing. All right, so obviously the YouTube gods are playing games with us. I will tell you, I will close out by telling you guys that I did practice with, I did practice with the new tool this weekend. It's a very interesting thing, very odd to shoot. I'll be working on that video. It's actually I hate videos that take too long to make. That's one of the reasons. That's why you guys don't get as many videos from me these days because there's just so much time that is required. It is what it is. So all right, guys, that's going to be about it. If you're not a member, do me a favor, get into the membership and find. I check the membership list like once a day just to make sure that I'm trying to stay up with you guys. If you do get into the membership area, make sure you become a Doomsday Prepper because if not, you don't get access to squat. You just get the emoticons. You're just supporting the channel. But if you're a Doomsday Prepper, you are like you're supporting. You get access to everything. If you take the next level up. There are some specialized things that you get, but for the most part, you just have more money. You know what I'm saying? West Virginia Papa, you finally became a Doomsday Prepper? Nikes. I will get with you right after this live stream and get you access. All right, let's see here. That's going to be about it, guys. Once again, stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you, which will be in the next video or live stream. Bye-bye.